Chapter 4, Learning to Live Without a Map. 19 into my early 20s, I had to find my way without a map. No one ever taught me how to pay bills. No one showed me how to live. I was figuring everything out on my own, and that is one of the hardest things a young adult can do, especially when you come from a life where guidance was scarce and survival came first. But if you are the generational curse breaker in your family, I need you to hear this now. You've got this. My story will show you that it can be done. Just 7 days after I had my firstborn daughter, my grandfather, the man who raised me, passed away. I didn't even know he had been in the hospital while I was pregnant. He had a tumor on his sebum at the base of his brainstem, which caused severe damage. When I finally saw him, he couldn't move or speak, but he was alert. The doctors said he could hear us. I'll never forget the tear rolling down his right eye. Now I look back at that moment and realize that he did really love us, even though they didn't show it in certain ways. His eyes were yellow. My grandfather never smoked a day in his life, and he never drank. He had many health issues but avoided doctors. I know now that keeping the truth from us was their way of protecting us from a life they already knew would be hard. I didn't understand that then. I was so young. I am grateful I got to see him before he passed, because years later, I didn't get the chance with my grandmother, the woman who raised me. My grandparents loved each other deeply. They showed it quietly. She rubbed his feet every night. She took care of him and he took care of her. When he passed, she never moved on. She stayed single until the day she died. I believe they were reunited in heaven. They lived simply. They paid cash for everything. I don't think they ever had a loan. My grandmother was the voice of reason, asking questions like, "Do you really need that dress? Will you wear it more than once?" Back then, stores like Fisher's Big Wheel and Jamesway were where we shopped. My grandfather was stern, but there was a reason for it. He knew how young boys thought. He had raised many. I regret not understanding that at the time. I was young. I tried to be grateful, but I didn't yet have a real relationship with God. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. Had I known God the way I do now, I would have been far more thankful for heat, for water, for a roof over my head. I may not have had everything I wanted, but I had everything I needed. Unless it was muskrat pot pie. I just couldn't do that. My grandmother was quiet and reserved, rarely upset, and never complained. Not about the weather, not about life, not even about my grandfather. She was beautiful inside and out. She had once been Berlin's Maple Queen, though I still need to find out what year that was. My grandmother passed in 2022. I went to the funeral home early to avoid running into family, not because I hadn't healed, but because I had. I had forgiven them, but I didn't want to reopen doors God had already closed. These chapters are only the beginning. The full book has more details. My childhood, my teen years, the good and the bad, my 20s, and the start of my 30s. This is a short version of a long story. 49 years of hurt, betrayal, truth, lies, sadness, love, anger, bitterness, healing, and growth. But I do want to say back in the mid-1990s, I was still just trying to survive.